Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Richard, founder of Short Term Rental University and Airbnb Superhost, and today I'm sitting in the common public area of Ian Schrager's new hotel, the Public Hotel in New York City, the Lower East Side of Manhattan to be specific. And I wanted to share with you a couple of thoughts that I have about a trend that I see happening in the hotel space, which really revolves around a theme that I've been teaching about and is critically important to our success in the Airbnb community, which is about community. So more and more hotels are starting to create these lobbies that are less like lobbies and more like meeting spaces, are less functional for like merely checking into a hotel room and then getting out. And instead they're encouraging people to linger and use it a little bit more like a common living room or a common space. And that's where we started a couple of years ago. And now some of the hotels like the one that I'm sitting in right now are really encouraging more of a sense of community. So not only just strangers sitting around doing things in their living room independent of one another, but having the opportunity to meet people. And one of the concepts that I've taught about in the Outer Banks time and time again is getting affinity groups, people that are in the same location for the same reason, whether it be sports or religion or hobbies, whatever it is, in the same area, to create that sense of community, to foster relationships and differentiate yourself from some of the other offerings. So this opportunity and this trend that we're starting to see in the hotel space, where lobbies become living rooms become socialization places where total strangers come and hang out with one another, is definitely happening. It's happening at an increasing rate, and that begs the question, should we as short-term rental hosts and entrepreneurs be worried? No, absolutely not. In fact, what we should be doing is what I'm doing here. I view this as an opportunity to learn. I'm modeling the masters. Ian Schrager, the founder of this hotel, is an incredibly successful hospitality entrepreneur. He's executed brilliantly here. If you haven't seen the video where I review sort of my initial impressions and what works well here and what doesn't, please go ahead and watch that video. But I'm here to learn from the absolute best, and I've got so many ideas about what's working and what's not working. I shared some of that in the video. Let's not view this as a threat. Let's view this as an opportunity. We're learning from people that have done this really well and taking the best of it into our own businesses. So there's really no reason to be worried about it, because it's unlikely that you have an Airbnb here in the Lower East Side that accommodates this many people. And the opportunity, as I've said, and I taught at Nashville Live, for instance, is about being in places that you live like a local, where you can't access, where it doesn't make sense to have a huge high-rise building in a hotel like this, right? But it does make all the sense in the world to have your log cabin or your 4-bedroom villa or your vacation rental, right? And so you start to create these opportunities and communities and borrow, if you will, from the best in kind. Surround yourself with experts and you borrow what's working for them, incorporate that in your business, and it's not a threat at all. In fact, it's a learning opportunity, and I view this as research and development. So one other thing to keep in mind, and this is why it's sort of coming together, is historically there have been people that really enjoy the full service hotel experience. And about 10, 15 years ago with VRBO, there was people that really liked the do-it-yourself experience, right? The self-check-in, the being left alone. And personally, I like both. There's times where I really want full service and I want concierge service and I want people to open the door for me or my kids or Erica. And then there's times where I really just want to be in a certain location, be left alone, everything work, and do it alone. And I think what hotels are realizing as they start to differentiate themselves both within their own umbrella or portfolio of brands, and also they start to compete, is that there's that whole spectrum. So a decade ago that spectrum didn't exist. Today it exists, and we're starting to see niche players occupy and satisfy niche demands for different travelers. And so the fragmentation, the finding of the tribe, is getting more and more granular, more and more specific. In fact, I stayed at another hotel that has a sense of community, the Ace Hotel here in Midtown, and really fashion forward and design aesthetic, but the community didn't speak to me, right? So it probably worked for a certain type of community, I think more hipster, younger people, but not for me and my demographic, whereas this community speaks to me and my demographic much more personally. So like, I will elect this hotel and not that one. But the reason that the hotels are starting to take a look at this is because, one, there's a lot of savings in terms of labor. Labor is the single largest cost in many businesses, and certainly the hospitality business. And so if you can reduce the amount of labor that you spend, the concierge, the butler, the guys that open the doors, the valets that park the car, the room service, all of those amenities come at a cost, a very high labor cost, and that reduces profit margins. So to the extent that you can satisfy really high-end guests with forward-thinking, innovation, technology solutions, create this new environment, and reduce labor, your profits go up. Not only that, you have the opportunity to speak to a different type of traveler and differentiate yourself and create a loyal customer for life. And that's sort of what's happening here. Like right now, the way I feel today is this is the next hotel I'll stay in New York City, and probably the time again and time again. And this might be my go-to place because it just really works for me. It satisfies all my needs. It's a perfect blend of enough hospitality. There's a really hospitable people here to help and service us and work, but it's not overpowering, and I don't feel like I have to stop and say hello to everybody, and there's just, it's the right mix for me. And so I think that's why hotels are doing it. It's a newer crowd and a new opportunity. They want to stake their brand and create this like loyal tribe around their new offerings, and at the same time it has the opportunity to be much more profitable. The room here is not inexpensive. It's over $400 a night for a little postage size room like this. So a lot of great opportunities, lots of opportunity to learn and do research and development and model the masters and surround yourself with greatness and inspire yourself. And so get out there and do it yourself. If you found this video inspirational and you want to learn more, I will be teaching a live seminar in Miami November 2nd and 3rd. The second STRU Live is coming to you in Miami November 2nd and 3rd, 2019. I hope to see you there in person, where I teach you exactly how to find opportunities that are generating real cash engine-like returns to fuel your self-reliance and your forward-thinking, future-proof self. So I hope to see you there. In the meantime, go ahead and comment below. What trends are you seeing? Why are hotels moving more into this do-it-yourself, self-check-in, technology-focused opportunity set? And what are you doing to make yourself, a competitive threat to them? Why should they be worried about you? Comment below. If you like the video, thumbs up, friends, and subscribe to the channel.